live. Wait a minute, see if we get some people in. I just heard my wife's phone go off, so there's a notification. All right. Sorry, I'm eating a banana. Hey, John P. What's up, buddy? Oh, Tanzi, mama. Okay. Well, remember, I don't know how long ago it was. Probably about 3 weeks to almost 4 weeks ago. Hey, what's up, exposing YouTube communities? The Dog Man. Oh, whoop whoop. But I was able to get part one to export, no problem at all, and nothing cool happened on that video. It was pretty much normal trail cam stuff. But when I got to the other half of the footage that was on this trail camera card, because what happened, there was like almost 1,300 files, so I broke it down to where I'd had 600 some files, and then on the other half I would have, I'd cut it in half for part one and part two. That way it wouldn't be too long of a video. You don't want to watch a 4-hour long trail cam video. So when I went to export this half of it, it won't export. And I think I seen why. So I'm going to show you guys. So now we got people on. I'm going to blow the screen up. It's always whenever weird things occur on there, it doesn't want to export. So I'm trying to get this to blow up right here. I'm hitting this. There we go. So I already had it in the editor. So it's going to be choppy like when I hit play because it's not exported, but it does photo and 10-second video on the trail camera footage. But yeah, here we go. I'm going to shut up and let y'all watch. I think I hit play. Play. Okay. Volume. Hey, Scott. What's happening, buddy? Now, weird stuff starts happening on there. It's up here at the fire pit. Chilling in a rocking chair with a banana in my hand. Good eating. Hello, Ann. Welcome. So I guess pretty much while we wait for the cool stuff to happen on trail cam, it's like open chat. Just everybody be nice. ACP. See, look, I'm not there. There's my fire pit. I had not been there for over a week, almost a week and a half at this point. But there ain't nobody at my camp. Oh, you think it's interesting now? I thought it was a fire until I see what happened. Yes, she did. Well, my bear claw did great on camera. I kept booting myself. I wasn't used to StreamYard. Like, what's up with that red? It's like, you see what I mean? That how that red is? And listen. Do you hear that humming on the video part? Well, I ain't doing it now. Yeah, I agree. Because at first, when I was watching this, I was told my wife, I'm like, oh, someone's building a fire in my camp. But, and the thing is, the sun, you see the sun brightening and pulsate or whatever. If this was a reflection from that, this would be reacting with that. And it didn't. Like, you'll see parts on the video where you will see this, but that isn't corresponding with it. Another thing that tells me that it is not a reflection. There's other parts, if you go back on the part one, even the sun's in that position, it's not doing that. If it was a reflection of that sun, every time the sun was in that position, we would have this effect. On the last video, even. Awesome, CP. Wind. Oh crap, I left my vape in the living room. I was letting the dogs out. Side. Really? That's the X right there. I'll show you how close the X is to my camp. People ask me quite often. You know, CP, both my wife and I quite often question if something is living in my camp when I'm not there. Hey, there's my wife. Hey, hey. Bev, is my vape out there? Blue hue. Yeah, we get those a lot. You can actually see them with your naked eye out there in the woods. Oh, I know Gizmo does. He's always around. Where? Maybe by the dog crate, by the door when I let the dogs out. You don't see my pacifier? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Oh, my wife found my pacifier, my vape. Hee. Took a laser pointer. Yeah, I did a laser grid experiment once. That was pretty wild. I was setting them up. I had 4 of them. That way I could cover all positions the whole way around camp. Like I had one facing up this way, that way. And they were all taped to tripods, and I turned them all on. And then when I turned the first one on, when it hit the one tree, it would have been facing going down that way. Like literally, tree got knocked down. I was like, whoa. And then they sat up on the ridge, like up on the ridge up in here, and they were throwing rocks the whole time I was trying to do a laser grid experiment to see how they'd react to it. All they did was hang up on the hill behind the tree on the ridge, and they were throwing rocks down through them to see how the lasers would react to the rocks going past them and whatnot. That was about it. Like it freaked them out at first to where it knocked down a tree, and then they just started throwing rocks through the beams. Eh, I don't think they ever seen the lasers before. They didn't know what to think of them. That's just my. Have you kept a thrown rock? No. No, when they throw rocks at me, I yell at them. I don't throw rocks back though. I don't think I'm not that stupid. I ain't had that once anything thrown. You're lucky, man. I'm telling you. They used to pelt the crap out of me. Then at one time, it wasn't long ago, right about 6 months ago, maybe, I gifted them a bunch of marbles. And I'm walking through, doing my thing. Next thing you know, I'm getting pelted with marbles. And I got hit in a specific spot of my body that I'm not going to mention on here because I don't want to be inappropriate. And I looked down, and sure enough, there was a marble sitting right down at my feet. I was so mad. I never gifted them marbles again. And my wife's in there laughing. She's seen the welt. Literally left the welt. The wind. Okay, what is it? Boring. When I used to come home, I put my SD card in and I used to call Biggie on video chat. Yes, you're right, Bab. I gave them ammunition. And they used it on me too. Right of the tree above my tarp. But I forgot what I was gonna say. I've had poop thrown at me. I've had rocks thrown at me, marbles. Oh man, I've had branch thrown at me before, tree bark thrown at me, nuts. No, what it was when I used to go down there and I first before I started gifting. I mean, seriously, like I'd go down in the woods, go for my little hikes to the woods, and they'd be looking around the trees at me, and I'd wave at them and say hi, and they'd just look at me funny, and they'd leave, and like they wouldn't acknowledge me. And I'm like, you're gonna sit there and stare at me, peek around trees, but I'm gonna be nice and wave to you, and you're gonna be a jagoff and not even have the courtesy to wave back. Screw you, you inbred. You know, I honestly, for a while, I thought that they were weird backwood inbred kind of people. It's just what I thought. The way they acted, and I always kept coming back to the house. I'm like, Bab, you got inbreds living in the woods. And then I'd flip them off. I mean, it was, and then they start throwing rocks at me every time I come in. The biggest I told you ever. Yeah. See, when my wife and I first met, she grew up here. She used to hunt in these woods. When my wife and I met, we was 2 weeks in our relationship, and she goes, I'm like, well, tell me some crazy shit about where you're from, like ghost stuff or creepy stuff. And she goes, well, we got these giant, naked, hairy people that look like gorillas that live in the woods. I'm like, what? And I laughed at her. So she kept her mouth shut for like 12 years about it, never mentioned it again. So all this time, like, I'd be going down there and I'm thinking there are people all this time. Like, this is weird backwoods inbred people, like the hills have eyes. And I'm like, come on now. So then eventually, it was like that for 12 years. Like, I started feeding them. I felt bad for them. I'm like, oh, they're living in the woods. So I started gifting them and whatnot. And then I got them on trail camera. Mind you, I'm interacting with them for 12 years, but they're keeping their distance. So when I'm seeing them, I'm thinking there's these really tall people that are wearing overalls. You know what I mean? Like what you would wear in a steel mill or like some Carhartt stuff, or like overall work clothes. But it wasn't like that. It was just them. It wasn't clothes. It was their hair. Then I got them on trail camera, and I'm like, whoa, we got monkeys in Pennsylvania. Yeah. And I never thought Bigfoot for the longest time, because when I think of Bigfoot, I thought of Jack Lynx and Harry and the Hendersons. I wasn't thinking of something that's going to look like a gorilla walking on 2 feet, you know? I'm like, well, you ain't a Bigfoot. You don't look like a Bigfoot. Turned out it's just the media has it wrong on what they look like. But over time, years and years and years of gifting, they quit throwing stuff at me. I didn't have to wear body armor in the woods no more. And then they threw softer stuff at me, like bark rather than rocks, or occasionally I'd have a turd thrown at me. But it is what it is. She said, "Oh wow, man, I had a turd. Like, I don't know if you ever seen how big a Squatch turd is. It's like literally the size of my foot, maybe bigger. And like when you step in it, it wraps the whole way around your foot, and it touches both sides. From both sides of your foot, it touches each other over top of your laces. And then, but yeah, I got hit in the face with that stuff once a big one that like literally got the whole side of my face, and then other times it was deer turds being thrown at me and stuff like that. I think they're different looks for different environments they live. I agree with you on that. There's different breeds as well. You know, just like a lot of people, as soon as they hear that the Squatch out here have 6 toes, they're like, oh, piece of fake. Ha, they have 5, not 6. It's like, no, you don't know your shit then. Because if there's different breeds, if you have a breed that's pushing over 9 foot tall, they're gonna need that 6 tarsal to compensate for their height and weight distribution. Why do you think the biblical giants had 6 toes? Because they needed it for their height and weight. Now the Sasquatches that only top off at 9 foot, they don't need that 6 tarsal. You know, just like the skunk apes. When you get in a skunk ape, they don't even have 5 toes, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I don't think the skunk ape even has 5 toes, because no more Bigfoot turd thrown. It's been a while. But I think the toe counts when it comes to the Bigfoots themselves, with the different breeds of them, I think it has a lot to do on their size. Just being real. But when you're getting into the dog man, that's different. You know, they got 4 toes, and then with their hands, they got 3 claws and a thumb. So you could say they have 4 claws in the front. You would still be correct, but technically, it's 3 fingers and a thumb, and that's why you get the 3 slashes on the trees, because the way their fingers do it, the way they lay them. When I go in the woods, you know, I hit the trees with that UV light. I look for certain markings of urine. I look for body fluids. I look for new slash marks in areas, because they could be, you know, you could walk into an area one week and there not be a marking there, but then you go next week, that same exact spot, and there's 3 slashes on that tree. That's telling you something. You have to pay attention to your surroundings. They give you messages, but it is up to you to comprehend them. Because if you don't comprehend them, you're just setting yourself up. Simple as that. You know, just because you see me going out in the woods doing this, Biggie, or anybody else going out at nighttime doing this stuff, don't think it's safe. It ain't. Not at all. I could go down in these woods, get surrounded by a pack of coyote and get mauled by them, or I could easily get mauled by a bear. I've had bear on trail camera. How many audio clips of coyote packs have y'all heard on my channel? You know, there's so much that can happen. That's why people say, oh, be safe. And I say, I try. Warning that for me, slashes, yeah. They let you know when you're pushing your luck. But also they do slashes to adequate kill zones as well, for hunting patterns and whatnot. But when you see those slashes, 3 slices, or I said slices, when you see 3 slashes, take that as a warning. You'd rather it be on the tree than on your back or your leg or something. That was weird. It sounded like the wind was blowing, but none of them trees were moving. That's why when you see me walk around the woods here, different areas, I have different color glow sticks. Yeah, they're expired. You know, the glow is all done, but you can still see what color glow stick it was. And I have them hung in different areas. I have green ones here, and that's telling me that this is my camp zone. This is my zone. If I ever get strayed in the woods and I lose track or whatever. But then you also have the red ones. And when you see the red ones on my channel, those are telling me areas where I have seen the 3 slashes on the trees. That's to keep it to my attention that I'm going into that area. When I'm panning my light and I see there's a red glow stick was hanging there. Okay, that's the red area. That's where the slashes in the trees are. I have to go in the woods alone. Nobody wants to come out with me but Biggie, and he lives all the way out in Michigan. People get freaked out when they come here. Like literally the famous question for all the people who's visited Squatch Topic, my wife always greets them on their way out and asks the same question to every single person. It is always, so How'd you like my woods? Normally, they say you can keep your woods or some other smart aleck remark about not liking it. So, yeah, I'm normally alone when I go out. And I don't take firearms. I don't even take bear spray with me. Man, I'm naked. I need my vape. I'll be right back, guys. I'll leave this. Thank you. Okay, I got my vape. And JP, when I walked into the living room, I seen what you said about bullets. They smell the powder. They smell that powder. And I promise you, JP, like if you come to my spot, all right, unarmed, you will get treated one way. If you come to my spot and you have a firearm, or say you were even just out shooting within the past couple days, and you have that burnt powder in your hand or even in your clothing or whatever, they can still smell that. They will treat you so grimy. Like, really, you'd be surprised. Wait, let me bring more of you. A dark light. What's a dark light? I did do experiments with different types of light to see what their viewing capability is on different spectrums. See, I've done a lot over 17 years. I've done a lot of experiments. Okay, black lights. Okay. I know. Okay. But I did extensive testing with the IR spectrum of light the the night vision where you see black and white. And I've noticed like they would be up on camp, and I'll set my night vision up, and they'll literally know where you set it, but they know the range. It's like they can see the distance that IR spectrum is able to reach, and they will literally go back the whole way around it as if they could see the range of that, where that spectrum of light is reaching. And I've experimented with that extensively, very, very extensively. I ran that experimentation over and over and over and over. Different night visions, different when I say the different night visions with the IR, I mean like different ranges. Low range, and then you have your long range ones. And I noticed that they know the ranges on those things of what that IR spectrum, how far that light is coming off. They know. So I think they can legitimately see it. Photos thing. The photos taken gives off different energy to video taken. They know. I don't know. I never actually just walked around just taking pictures. Like my wife has taken pictures of me down there before. Like, this is weird how it's all purple. But when I go down there, I'm normally videoing. Like, all my photos come from still shots from my videos. But they know my equipment. They know how to turn it off. And it makes me mad too. See, the thing with me, I have to look because the amount of wooded areas, and I'm dealing with, coyotes and bear and everything. I have to keep an eye out for them because those predators, I don't know, as big as they are, they're light footed. Especially when I'm down there all by myself. I gotta keep my guard up down there. Trail cams are so boring. Yeah, they show up. Is it thermal? You want to bring up thermal? I've actually had them on thermal where I've seen the heat, like a heat signature, like because trees hold heat, right? And you see them come out from behind a tree, and then they have a heat signature, but then it goes cold. Poof, gone like a fart in the wind. And I don't use crappy thermal. I'm using FLIR. FLIR, that's one of your top brands. Vision for a walk. Okay. Cool dog, man. do they usually come from? And the images from uphill, they come from all the different areas. Like I have pictures of them in trees. I have them in trees. I've had them come across the road from up there and then come down this way. I've had them come in from this way back here. I've had them come up the hill. I've had them come from that way. It just depends where they're at. But there is a very large mine that is abandoned, and there's tunnels. I have the maps that the tunnels split like A and come off around the property, and I think they utilize those. Like I'm almost certain. I'm like 99% certain. Yeah. I don't think they like open spaces. Yeah, honestly, for a longest time, the reason I started getting, not only for my safety, but the mining maps of the areas, because I was looking for vertical shafts and whatnot that they could pop out of. I was thinking, or like I said before, I was thinking Hills Have Eyes concept, kind of like the inbreds living in the woods. I was like, oh man, they're living in the mine shafts. And then for a while, I was thinking to myself, were there like a type of subterraneous humanoid species? Like, over these years, so much has gone through my head, like you wouldn't believe. You think you have an answer? Holes underground. Found big, really big. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I'm telling you. You go underground, you find some weird things. Yeah. But yeah, this is the closest to a tent you'll have me do out there. I don't do tents. Ooh. That's right, you're 5 hours ahead of us where you're at. Hey JP, when we was talking about that light coming in, all right, Biggie and I was down here, and when we say we was looking up the hill, that light, it was like 1:30 in the morning. It was dark. We had the fire going over here. We had headlamps on and spotlights, and this light came from over here, and it just came like this, and it stopped, and it was like daytime, like the sun just came up rapidly. Hey, hello, Joseph Moore. And we're like, what the hell's going on? The night go that quick. So we got our stuff together, turned off our lights, we snuffed out the fire, got it killed down and everything. Are there any other strange creatures on the property like little people? I wonder about little people, and because of the rocks in the trees. because of the way those rocks in the trees are, and the bases of the trees here, there's these rocks, and they're like wedged into the tree. Like if you were to pop the rock out, it'd be like a doorway into the tree. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, that light came across, and then we packed up and we got up the hill. And as soon as we were stepping out of the woods, the light went across like that and just left. And ever since that day, I've been getting red orbs in these woods. That was 1:30. Oh, you're talking to JP. My bad. How far was the light? The whole woods was lit up. Like it came in fast, which was weird, but the entire woods was lit up. Like it was literally like it was daytime. The whole area we were able to see, it was coming from the sky. Like it was above us, because when we went up the hill, my father-in-law, my wife, and Biggie's wife were sitting on the back balcony deck, which is the second story, and they were all ooh and on about a UFO that was just hovering over where our campsite was. And we were like, nah, and they were talking about the light. And then we're like, whoa. So, hey, what's up, Tinka? So, yeah, it was in the sky. All we saw was light. All we saw was daylight. We were in the woods. They were out on the deck. We didn't see what they were seeing. Oh, nature's beauties. You cute, though. Well, no, this one came across like this. It stopped for a while, and then it just went the same way it was going before. It came in from the left, and it left going to the right, so it just kept going the same direction. They're all looking at my stuff. They're like, hey, where's he at? I don't know, man. Yeah, they are nice size. Good amount of meat there. It's under my tarp. That'd be something. You laying in your tarp, or laying in your hammock under your tarp, you look over and you see a buck looking at you face to face, and you're like, ah, it's a Wendigo! No, they didn't have binoculars. They were just on the back deck. It was my wife, her dad, and Biggie's wife. Because Biggie and I were in the woods. See, I don't know much about little people, Miss Ann. I know about Bigfoot. I know about Dogman because I deal with them. You know, the UFO stuff, I don't know much about it. I don't know much about that other thing that's been hanging around my camp area, so I don't talk about it much. You know, if I don't understand something, I really don't talk much about it because I don't want to give false information. And, you know, it's not fair to a viewer if someone's going to BS their way through and pretend they know something when they don't. It's not fair. So I'm not going to do that. So if I don't know something, I'm not even going to bring it up. Or I'll just straight out tell you I don't know. Seeing the light source. Yep, that's right. You learn what you deal with first. Started with Bigfoot, then the Dogman. Then I learned it was them together. And then little people. Biggie always brought them up to me too. And that thought always has crossed my mind though when I see those rocks in the bases of these trees here. Yeah. Little people cross my mind, like the little brownie dudes on Willow. Yeah. But I cannot confirm nor deny because I've never seen. So I can't confirm, but I can't deny because who am I to say something isn't there or legit just because I haven't seen it myself? You know, I'm not going to discredit. I hate snow. It's snowing right now outside. It's pouring snow. You hear that weird noise in my vape? Right there's the most level spot out there. And that's not even level. Yeah, because JP, hey, Mama Bear Claw, all I was seeing, same with Biggie, all we saw was light, bro. It was like the sun came out. That's all it was to us from our view in the woods. We weren't thinking UFO at all. When we went up the hill, everybody that was not in the woods was saying UFO or lights displays, this and that and the other. Oh, that's cool. Long as it ain't trying to say beam me up, I'm good. They could have their beams. I don't want no spaceship trying to beam me up. Not. Oh, I remember when we had that talk about the UFOs and whatnot. I'm just saying I don't want nothing beaming me up. So light beam down. Change size. See, I didn't notice nothing like I just noticed it was like daylight. But then again, we just thought the sun came up, honestly. And we was just focused on getting the fire snuffed out and getting up the hill to go rest. We wasn't even thinking nothing abnormal. We just thought the night went quicker than we thought. But it stopped. There's been many. But yeah, UFOs, that ain't my cup of tea. Now my father-in-law, you know, he's prior military. He was a Navy airman. He's all about the UFO stuff. Me, I just don't understand it enough to devote enough of my time to it to, I guess, gather enough understanding of the subjects. It's not my cup of tea. Orbs with Dogman and Bigfoot. Oh yeah, buddy, I see that. Blue orbs, yellow orbs, red orbs. Ever since that light came, orange orbs. Well, there's these bars of light that and like I was saying before, there are two bars of light, and they're like side by side. Sometimes there'll only be one, but more commonly I see two of them side by side. They're maybe 3 foot long, just long enough for the area that it's in. And they do a perfect straight line through the woods. They don't bob or nothing, but then they'll flicker. Hello, Henry. And when they flicker, it's like when they shut off, when they kick back on like a second later, they're like way further than anybody could have sprinted or anything like that. You know? And there was a time where there were Sasquatches where they were eating these big millipedes that were in the leaves. I mean, these millipedes are as long as your finger, maybe half the width of your pinky finger. And they literally, when those lights were coming up the hill, the one that was standing on the ridge did a come on motion with his arm, and they stopped what they were doing and they split. Like they were scared of that light. And I don't know what it is. Well, I have Mama Bear Claw and I talked about it. I have understanding of it, but there's certain things with native culture that's shared with you that you're not supposed to share. Out of respect to their culture, I can't share what I was told about those. But if you see those double bars of light in the woods, stay the hell away from them. Straight up, stay the hell away from them. Don't go near them. Don't, just stay away from them. That's all I gotta say. But I will give a hint. People who study folklore or cryptid stuff want an idea of it, look into changelings. Look up changelings. I'm scared of that stuff. See, certain things, I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared of certain things. Yeah, I know it's big over in Scotland, my friend. Well, when I see them around camp, I always see them at a distance. Like the one day I was on the phone with Randy Moore Sr., Tar Heel Bigfoot. I was on a video call with him on Messenger. I was just sitting there on the ridge, and him and I was just watching him go down across the ravine. He was mesmerized. But when they start coming up towards you, you go away from that area. A squirrel! Squirrel! The squirrel! It's a pretty cool optical illusion right there that was given off from that grommet reflecting right there. It almost looked like an eye peeking around, but it is not. It is the grommet on that tarp. Hello, Susie B. That is a nice squirrel. That's a boiling squirrel. You got two different kinds of squirrel. You got a frying squirrel and a boiling squirrel. When they're bigger, you boil them. When they're skinny, you fry them. That is a nice sized squirrel, isn't it? Poof. That's an eastern gray squirrel. He's a breakfast. Our little bugger is quite busy on that little log there, huh? He's having a happy little morning. I think, what's going on here? I think, I'm going back in the chat. Hang on. I hope those who watch me. It was very nice. He said, "Oh yeah." Stop, Susie. You made me laugh. What was that? We'll be sitting up here on that tree stump in his backwoods with looking at a Sasquatch. He come up in that stump and sat next to me and he took my gear and he stole my shit. And I said, Sasquatch, what's he taking my shit for? And he just looked at me and he said, whoop! I said, you get away from me, you stinky. You stink. And he looked at me and said, whoop, whoop. No. What's bumping the tarp? I wasn't even looking. Wind. Yeah, the wind is blowing. If anybody's got a Five Below where you're at, and you see that guitar there, don't buy it. It's a piece of crap. The fretboards are too high off of, or the frets are too high off of the fingerboard, and you can't hit the chords properly. Instead of having a true chord sound, you're having a twanging sound, which really sucks. And the frets are so high off the board and they're boxed off rather than smoothed off, they literally will cut your fingers up while you're playing. Like when you're going up and down the fretboard, you'll cut your fingers. And it doesn't, whoa, something was just up there a second ago. And they don't hold tune at all. Like you'll be like a quarter away through a song and then you have to stop to retune. Game cam only goes on. Boom it. Yeah. I like this trail camera though, because this one has a quick relay on it. That trail camera I don't like. It has a countdown on it. And it takes 10 seconds for the video or the photo to engage. And I hate it. Because these creatures are so fast, by the time it engages, poof, everything's gone. You missed it all. At least in these trail cams, you have a somewhat of a chance to see something. Yeah, I mean, 10 seconds for a countdown just for your footage to start recording something. That's long. Hey means thank you. Last I saw you move the cams around, did it work? Two of my one trail camera, like this one, because I had two like this, the Sun Pro, and then I have that Wildlife Game Innovations one that I hate. The crappy one still works, and one of these ones work. My other one like this bit the dust, but you got to figure since 2012, these trail cameras have not been inside a house. These trail cameras have been in the field 7 days a week, 365 a year since 2012. Literally. I go out. Good night, Joseph. Oh, good night, Joseph. Take care. Like, I go out, I swap out my batteries, I change my positions of them, and I swap out my cards. That's that. These cameras, they don't come home with me. It's like once they hit the woods, they live in the woods. So 2012 to current, and it just now bit the dust on that one. I mean, I can't complain. I got my money's worth out of that camera. You take care, Joseph. Many blessings. Hope you sleep well. Oh, that's sweet, John P. That's very nice. Oh, when I go out, I have to wipe my lenses off and all that. Yeah, every time I go and change out my batteries, I clean my lenses off. Josh, watch the lights effects carefully. Watch the light effects carefully. Which light effects? Lights come over. It's not always the sun. Interesting. Like right over in here. Like right up in here and whatnot. Leo helped Josh. Oh, Mama Bear, you helped me understand a lot. A whole lot. Yes, definitely. Biggie, too. Teamwork. That's right, dog man. It's good to share. It's always nice to help others out. Tanka, I will straight up say that I do not think they are human experiments because think about it. Sightings of dogman cynocephali, which are the dogmen with the Bigfoot bodies, no tail. You know what I mean? They have like the human-like bodies covered in hair with the canine head. They there's depictions thousands and thousands of years old. This is before we had the technologies of genetic testings and whatnot to even have this type of science. So I don't I don't think that there could be human experimentation, but if I'd say of our worldly standards, I'll put it like that. Human experimentation of our worldly standards. Alien wise, I don't know. I don't know. That's beyond my knowledge. Cool. That'd be cool to see your video of the nest site. Yes, they do. They've taken apples. I think they eat nuts, seeds in the UK. Okay. See, every place is different. That's why it's good to collaborate with people from different regions because no two areas are the same. You have different terrains, you have different types of foliage, you know, uh, totally different climates. You know, the plants that you're going to find here, you're not going to have there. So obviously, foraging is going to be different from region to region, most definitely. Are you still thinking of the big chair for the old one, Gizmo? Yeah, I'm actually still thinking about doing that this summer. I'm thinking about doing that this summer. Building a big chair for them down there out of some branches and stuff. What I need to do though is I have to stop at the Spring House out there because they got that giant chair out there. Where that Spring House is a dairy farm, and I want to get the measurements off of that chair, so I have something to work off of. They love fat balls, Dogman. I used to leave out for the birds. Like, you mean like balls you play with, like rubber balls, or like actual balls of fat, like meat fat? I hang. Oh, okay. I leave. I take raw liver and I hang it in the trees around camp when I'm down there sometimes to leave the dogmen a treat. There goes that purple hue under my tarp again. Okay. TYSM. Oh, okay, I get it. Thank you so much for explaining to me what dogman werewolves are. Sorry, Tenka, don't be afraid to ask questions. There's no such like even if you think it's a stupid question, there's no such thing as a stupid question. If you don't know, you don't know. If you want to know, I'll gladly tell you if I know. If I don't know, I don't know, and I'll let you know. That's all. I'm here to help people, and on the same note, I'm not here to BS you. Locks on my bins too. When Biggie came down and camped with me, he had locks on his bins that he brought down his totes, and I told him, I was like, those Bigfoots are gonna go through your stuff. And we went up to the house. I was like, dude, listen to the woods. We're listening, and he literally heard them tear top of his tote right off. They busted the hinges off and the locks and everything. They ripped that whole top clean off, locks and all. Went through his stuff. They stole his car keys. Then they returned them the next day. But yeah. But yeah, the dog man. When I say dog man, I'm referring to the adlet type. That's they have like the canine build where when they're on all fours they would look like a giant wolf, like they have a tail. They have the canine body, but then they could stand up on two legs bipedally as well. And then you got the cynocephali, or the ones who look more like a Bigfoot. They don't have a tail, but yet they still have the canine head. That's the cynocephali, and those are referred to by a lot of people as the werewolf-looking ones. Crap, my dogs are fighting. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. My dogs were having a feud. So yeah, definitely, Tanka. Anything you want to know, you feel free to ask. Nobody's gonna judge you. If I don't have an answer, someone else might. Thank you, Mama Bear Claw. Everyone ever had rainbow effect, then see Bigfoot or Dogman after? You mean like a rainbow effect? You mean like an aura kind of thing? No, you're not being nosy or dumb, Tinka. You're good. Well, I've seen blue orbs. Like I've seen literally I was sat there to one time. I was watching one tree peaking. And then I got hung up on this orb and I started videoing this orb. And the orb was blue, but it had like hints of orange in it and whatnot. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it wasn't rainbowish. No telepathy? No, not me. I've had them. I have had to where I have thought of things. Now this is similar, but it's not. Okay, this ain't no mind speak stuff. I have had where I've had AVP going. You know, an electronic voice phenomena thing for they use for ghosts and whatnot down there. And I would think something in my mind, and the answer or whatever would come up on the EVP device. Yes. As far as me hearing a voice in my head that is not my voice, no. But I have had them come up on EVP straight up. I'm not gonna BS you. Like you have something like going through your head and stuff, and that EVP will come up. What size are those blue orbs? I've seen them as small as a softball, all the way up to the size of a basketball. Is that a squirrel again? Oh, that's a smaller one. And I experimented with that too, JP. Like I was weary about the EVP, but then Mike Tornacosta came out from MT Paranormal Life. He wanted to visit a cemetery that's out here. And I had a list with everybody who was buried there. And the name that was coming up on there, like they'd say their names and then we would find their headstones. And then I was like, oh, wow. This is wild. So I started incorporating it in to my hunts and whatnot to see if there was a what do you call it? See if it would work in my spot. And sure enough, everything went right along with it. I know color orbs are very dangerous. I see, I never touched an orb. I don't know. I don't know what I've seen the blue ones and stuff like that, orange, red now since that light came, but I've never touched an orb. I've never gotten close enough to it to, like, I've had them close enough to where you could feel like a static electricity effect in the area, but that was about that. My wife told me though that when she was younger, her grandmother told her that an orb came through their house one time and the curtain rods curled. But I don't have much as far as seeing them. Yeah, I've seen them. Oh, there, who's that? Is that me? Oh, look at that ugly dude. That's me. See, I don't know enough about the orbs to say whether any of them are harmful or whatnot because I don't have, you know, I've seen them, yes, a lot, but I've never touched one. I've never tried to intermingle with an orb, but yeah. No, they don't make sound. You're right. They don't have any sound at all, and it does have like a static charge in the air. Like you feel your hair stand up. Bad vibes. I say bad juju. Bad juju! There I am going into camp looking around. I'm looking for tracks. When I see things are different, I always look around the tracks and I try not to disturb the area as little as possible. What am I doing? I look like a geek. I'm gonna sit here and lean on the tree. Dingle dingle on my phone. I teleported. Yeah, right. JP, question mark. Ramona, the orbs have several different origins. JP, 5 pics, orbs on community page. Ooh, I'll have to check those out after this live stream's done. That's the tree right here. That half tree right there. That in the background is where I put that bonus gift up in. I got some pretty cool orb videos here and there. I get them mainly on night vision though. I'm bent over looking at stuff, looked like I was trying to fart or something. Yeah, that ugly guy's me. Looking for any changes. Hey, I'm wearing a Great Outdoors Biggie shirt. Bigfoot eat bird stuff like fat balls, suit, and peanuts. I've actually heard of people's bird feeders getting raided a lot. That is something you hear quite often. I mean, think about it. Seeds. It's something natural. So yeah. She said I have boots like that. Are yours snake proof? Those are your snake boots. I don't feel like getting popped by a copperhead or eastern diamondback or timberback rattler or any of that. I'm good on getting bit. That's why they're so high on my leg. Especially corn. You notice, look at this color right here. You notice it's like yellowish right there compared to the rest of the tree? Whoa. Well, that's me. Yeah, it get pretty dark down there. You can literally put your hand in front of your face and not see it. But if you sit there long enough, when the sun, or not the sun, when the moon's out nice, you sit there and you let your eyes adjust and you can see the gray in between the trees. And if you sit there and focus your eyes, you can see them when they run in between the trees. Have you got black choppers passing over? No. No. That was actually one of the reasons that it took me so long to share because I was scared of that happening. In Canada, we were seeing lights and orbs. Was explaining what orbs mean. And John P. says, if I see the shadows passing over the trees, I'd creep out. Nah, you don't creep out. when you see them, you go, oh, Tanze, I see you. Sitanya, Ishamugura. I haven't had no, knock on wood, I haven't had no issues in a long while with them. Like, I've been gifting regularly, and then we just hit this peaceful plateau. But it, Dog man, I want to teach you a word. Ishamugura. It means dog man. It's native tongue. So when you see me out there on my things, when I say Sitanya, Ishamura, I'm saying Bigfoot, Dogman. Come on. That was funny, Dogman. Currently living would or could retaliate. I tell him straight. Oh, my face hurts from laughing. Oh my. Well, when I first started dealing with them, I was calling them inbreds. I was cussing at them, was flipping them off because they were throwing rocks at me. They are not harmful. I apologize saying Paleface put on Google hot things. But yeah, it's like I started gifting them and changed my whole attitude and aspect with them and everything, and then they started warming up, and then it got to where it's at now. Oh, okay. I'll check those out on our community page after this live. It sucks. It's like when it's not exported, it takes longer to play. Well, I can only imagine the different things you've dealt with, Mama Bear Claw. We call it it. We just say it. For, yeah. I don't even say that word. That's a cuss word to me. I don't like using that word. Blank ranch. Yeah, we call it it. All right, Mama Bear Claw, bless you. You relax. This cat is over here snoring. Don't blame it on the cat. Does anybody have any questions for me? Awesome, dog man. Good night, Mama Bear Claw. Why do we say clan? All right. You know how like you have tribes, you have clans, villages. They prefer to be called a clan. The Sasquatch clan, rather than saying the Sasquatch village or the Sasquatch tribe, they prefer to be referred to as a clan. We all come from a clan. What's oof. Going. Thanks, Tinka. Hi. Thanks. Hi, hi. Thank you. What's the same stuff mean? Sabe? Nothing to them. Like Bigfoot, Sabe, Sasquatch, that don't mean nothing to them. They don't know what that means. Now you go in there and you call them Satanya, they know exactly what you're referring to. I noticed that, at least here in America, where I'm at least, this region of America where I'm at, the Pennsylvania area, they respond more to the Native American language and culture. They do. They know whiskey cigar. Citanya. JP says thank you, Bear Claw. hell is that? Is that a leaf or a mouse? Thought I saw something right up here moving. It could have been a leaf or a mouse. Go ready, Josh. Ever had orbs go through you? No, I haven't. I have not had one go through me, no. But you did. That's crazy. What was that like? Like, honestly, if an orb was coming up to me, I'm like, later, orb. I'm going to go this way. Don't touch me. I don't like being touched. It was weird. Okay. Explain. Seem like biggest dub brain. Tinker, you're hard on yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to know stuff. If you start from here. Okay, JP. Like, it was protecting. Same time, putting a. Wait, let me lean forward so I can read this better. All right. Dogman's talking about when the orb went on. It says, like, it was protecting him, but at the same time putting a barrier between him and the Dogman. Interesting. That's pretty wild. Did Dogman go translucent too? Yes. Have you done interview before? Maybe in say I've done an interview with ORD before. Who else did I do an interview with? I've done Gone Live Togethers with Biggie and stuff. Yeah, I don't remember. Lord of ORD. I was on his channel. He wants me back on again. It's just, I don't know. Oh, well, JP, I'm just gonna send you my whole Bigfoot file, man. You show what you want to show on there when we're on there, and I'll just go with the flow, man. One interview. Oh, I don't have a problem. It's just I'll go with the flow. That's all. I like JP. He's a nice individual. He's a very nice guy. I don't have a problem talking to nice people. See what it is trolls come in and start trying to attack. I have a short fuse, man. I get mad quick. I try to be polite at all times, but man, when I don't know. I've been having these problems. When I get revved up, my chest starts hurting. And I'm not really a people person. That's it. Hold back your health. Well, it's just when people, what I do, just like when I release videos, you get people come in and say, "Oh, that was a waste of time." You know, you didn't have to be rude. You know, you could have been polite at least, or just not said anything at all. Why do you have to leave a rude comment? You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. And people like that make me mad. Like there was so many times I've like I've looked at my wife and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to just make all my videos private and say go back to the way I was before. You know, people I don't like people. They make me angry, you know. People are so rude. But then my wife is always reminds me of the good people who join me on my channel and watch and learn from me. And then she always pulls my head out of my ass, and then I turn around, hit the computer, and start doing my videos. So, I don't know. But I just like with people will notice who is in I'm barely ever on Facebook. I'll post my videos on my Facebook group page, but I don't go on it. Then I got a message held. Let me see. I know I hate your mom and dad going through that, Henry. What did I say? Show that. Come on. It said another. Okay, that should not have been. That's the YouTube for you. It held that message. Henry, it was for you. It says, it was from Dogman. It says, I know I hate your mom and dad going through that, Henry. There was nothing wrong with that message. And YouTube held it for review. But yeah, I when I get these rude comments, I just turn around and try to be polite to them. And that's that, you know. But yeah, JP, I'm definitely going on your show, buddy. You're a nice guy. I like you. Tanka, I do not view it being rude or disrespectful by asking questions. If you want to know, you want to know. Oh, I know, dog man. You get pushed a lot though. You know. Oh, I got 15% battery. We have the wolf guarding the castle. Cool, cool. Put a stent in the window. Or stay still. Problem here and there. I need to be taking my meds. I normally don't take them though because I don't like pharmaceuticals. That's more of a bear. Well, I take baby. I'm supposed to take baby aspirin because of my heart. He's back to, oh, it was Big Beavers. Fuck, did I miss something? Big Beavers. Someone thinks beavers are trying to get in their window? Alright, there I am coming down again. Night. The only others. Awesome channel content. Yeah, no problem, Tanka. Thank you for joining us. Have aliens landed, or what are we seeing? That's my spotlight. Looks like I'm building a fire. I see smoke. Yeah, I'm building a fire. Is that a fire or is that just a light? That might just be a light. But I thought I saw smoke. That's right, CP. My eyes are hurting. I'm hungry. Friends to share our experience with. But you gotta be, you gotta be careful who you share your uh, experiences with, because some people use it as a weapon against you to make fun of you. It's rum and cherry coke. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah. I could do some cherry coke, but I'm good on the rum. No alcohol this way. What is that? Turkey. Those are turkeys. I think. Yeah. Those were turkeys up there that we seen moving. There's a deer. Here's another deer. Just let them say what they want. I got receipts. Right on. Yeah, I don't open my mouth about stuff really unless I have photos or video to back it. If I don't have evidence to back it, I don't even really bring it up. Is that one squished too? No. Whoa. Look like a deer just brushed up against my cam. Smells something. The way its snout was in the air. Oh, you saw something, CP. Smelling something. I think it was a deer that brushed up against the cam, JP. That's me helping my kids down the hill. Keep lookout for missed spots in your footage. Misty spots. You actually get that quite often. Wonder if they react to different to kids. I don't know. Like, you see, I keep my kids like really close whenever we're in the woods, like real close. That juicy booty of mine when I'm bending over. Ooh. Down in here's where the dogmen always come up from, down this way. She said in the house, she said, old lady died. Ah. See how it's like chop, 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 chop like that is because it's not edited, it's not exported.
Right now.
Almost looks like something standing down there.
All right. Changing course.
Damn, I'm ugly. No. I've seen them like hunkered up, like up against a tree, but never out in the open. They like that thickets. As they say in storybooks, the end. Let me turn my thing around. Like no light in here. I don't know the lights on because I didn't want like the light reflecting off the computer screen and all that. But roof, trees, bushes. Oh crap! I got 5% battery. My live stream is gonna shut off on me, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and close it out now. I want to say thank you all for joining tonight, even though you can't see me, can you? You can see that. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and the nice chat we had in here. I'm glad everybody got along. Sorry it wasn't export and I had to go live to show it, but that's cool. Everybody got the chat. Cheers. Yeah, definitely. But I'm going to go ahead and hang up on here and delete this card. But, all right, you guys take care of yourselves. Love, peace, and Squatch Grace. And a message held for review. John P. Why did that get held for review? It says CP, Susie B, Dogman, Tanka. It's from John P. And then it says Henry down here. He's sending his love and buys to everybody. And YouTube held it for review. That's bull. Oh yeah, I need a pee too. But all right, guys. Remember, when you're in the woods, you're not alone. All right. Night.